Okay. A very good afternoon, guys. Seeing that the first viewers are hopping in, that's always nice. Let's wait and see if some more people are joining. So, first of all, I'm gonna wait for a second to get some others in the chat. If you have any questions, of course, feel always free to ask me anything. Could be about trading, could be about life. It's all good. You will see if you get an answer. But hope that you guys are doing well and that you are not getting too much chopped up because the market is looking absolutely shite. At least for the way I trade. The market is absolutely horrible. Goody deal, hi bro. What do you expect from NQ? Well, we can take a look at it, to be honest. Let's zoom in this way. Look, overall, the daily closure from yesterday wasn't the best. Personally, I shared a long yesterday in my private group where I sent out a signal to long NQ where I had an entry on the change in state of delivery where we got the pop higher. However, after we reached the new day opening gap, we saw a harsh rejection, closing me out on break even. After the daily open, we saw a pretty big pump up, which was probably something news related, but I don't know. I haven't seen like the headline, which could be the trigger for this initial pump on the daily open. What we can see is that we are now trading lower. Overall structure, since on the daily time frame, we can clearly see this range right over here. We have this candle's range, which is last week Friday, out of the top of my head, where we took out sell side. We also have created S&T on these lows, so it makes more sense to me for price to trade towards buy side. However, with the current daily candle and how it is looking, that is not favoring upside, because normally if you want to see upside on a daily candle, you want to see an open low, high close, but we can see that we have opened, shut up higher, and we are now creating a large wick on the top side. So for me, I am biased bullish, but I cannot frame a trade right here. So that makes it a little bit more difficult to have a clear read. And besides that, going hard into a trade right now is something that I can definitely not recommend to you guys, because we do have FOMC tonight, and most likely we are going to see a pretty significant move, and that will probably clear up the market in general. I also do hope that currencies will get a kick underneath their bum, let's say it like that, to spike out of the consolidation to get more clarity in the market itself so that we can trade again, because for now it is mostly sitting on my hands type of price action, which of course nobody wants in the end. So to give a real clear bias on indices, it's pretty hard right now, Caridel. So I would say higher, but it is not recommended to go in like with a good conviction of risk going into a trade setup right now. Joost, hello bro, how much RR do you target a month in these conditions? What do you target in normal average months? I do not have a fixed target, as in like, for example, I'm reaching 6% and I'm quitting, like for the month, I'm taking the month off, I'm not doing that anymore. I trade when my edge occurs, and if that occurs, I anticipate a setup, I will execute the setup, and in the end, I will get a certain result out of it. On average, I would say that I'm not gonna lie, on a CFT account, I'm doing a lot better than my normal average since the beginning of 2025. So that's good. That is at around an average of 10%-ish per month, but that's way too much. That's not realistic. You should always, I always say it like this, if you can beat the S&P 500 on a year-to-year basis, you are already a crazy good trader, and that's something that you need to get into your head in general. It's a lot of the people are getting like crazy returns on crypto, etc., and that's a little bit more, and that created like a lot of brainwash for a lot of the people. So take it slow, take it low returns. If you are getting 2% a month, you're already doing great. Just do the math. I mean, a 200k account, 2% a month is 4k. You have an 80% profit split on CFT, which means that you are netting $3,200, and that means that is just with one account. If you are then just going to scale up, that is where the real magic happens. Look, the main thing that a lot of people lack is not the knowledge nor the skill to trade, it's the amount of capital. But you will need to have more skill. You need to have more skill after you are reaching a certain amount of capital, because it's going to be a lot harder on your mental state. In general, trading sounds very easy, but it's not. I always say it like this: trading is the hardest way to make easy money. Of course, there is no like physical pressure. You just press a few buttons and you have the ability to make money, but you can also lose it in a very quick way. So yes, of course, the transaction is very easy, but it's so hard on your mental, etc. It's very hard. So do not underestimate it. What do I expect from DXY Zigzag? Only thing that I hope is that tonight we can leave this consolidation. And if you ask me what I do expect, if the chart loads up, I will zoom out towards the weekly time frame to make it a little bit more clear. Look, since we were in an accumulation period for years, actually, this consolidation almost took 2 years to, yeah, a little over 2 years to like eventually break out, and we have the manipulation move higher. So we have accumulation, a manipulation move higher above the range, and we saw the distribution lower eventually. With the distribution lower, we can see that over here we took out the 2023 low, which is a significant low. So that's the first factor. We have taken out a significant low on the very high time frame. And now we can see that we are creating here this swing point where we are trading inside of this range. We close inside of it. So personally, I'm actually looking for a move back into internal range liquidity, where I am potentially aiming myself for price to reach this like fair value gap area, which is also in a premium of the range. So this would be my ideal target, and this would also be the area to frame new shorts off of. So this is what I would like to see, a move higher towards the internal range liquidity pool in the form of the daily fair value gap. That makes the most sense to me, but with the current structure and how we are trading inside of this consolidation, that is not something that I can anticipate a trade on. So I would want to see a move higher here so that we can frame a move lower afterwards. However, just because I have a logic and a bias behind a certain asset, that doesn't mean that we are going to trade it. So I do think that dollar goes higher, and I do think that the daily gap is a good area to target. But for me, for my model does not represent a trade opportunity inside of this consolidation. So for me, it is impossible to get involved in the market right now. And I hope that that is a little bit clear, Zigzag. Yeah, I'm pretty sure as well if FOMC will do the necessary work to at least give us something. Just to give a little bit more clarity would already be more than enough. It is for me at 8 p.m. We have the funds rate, but mainly the important thing is going to be the press conference afterwards. Is there actually something else that looks interesting? It's gold. Nothing. Look, this is then one of the assets that you could potentially frame a trade on, which is USDJPY. But it goes against my dollar bias because I want dollar to go higher. But in general, you can see that this market is willing to move. And that is different compared to the other markets that we are seeing right now. How are you guys actually holding up thus far inside of this consolidation? Are you guys doing well? Are you on a losing streak? How do you guys behave at this moment in time? What is up with the futures, Blaze? It actually does look like alright, this is what we are gonna monitor. Oil towards this low. Okay, why does this look interesting? We have a short-term high on the daily, which is Friday's high. Overall structure, bearish. We are trading lower. We saw the weekly open right over here, which is a bullish reaction off of the open, taking out a short-term high on the daily, and we are currently rejecting it. So here, this is what I mean. And it looks like with this rejection that we have a potential Wednesday high of the week setup forming. Here you can see this is the daily high. We are creating a lot of failure swings on this side, so this is the buy side of the curve, and now we need to see if we can go into sell side of the curve. But we can already see on the 4 hour that we took out this buy side, high created, closed lower. This is a reversal candle, so now we can anticipate this candle to be the continuation of this candle. We have an open high, and now we are seeing the distribution lower, so price should move towards this low right over here. because this is the form of a classic sell day where Asia was a tight consolidation. We manipulated higher during London, creating the London high of the day. After the London high of the day is created, we saw a significant rejection lower, retracement higher, into inversion fair value gap, into fair value gap, and now we are distributing lower. So this should trade towards this sell side liquidity pool right over here. It should be a rather quick delivery. It's also not that standard deviations are lining up. Yeah, it's beautiful. Beautiful piece of price action. I really need to get a step into the futures game. JPY futures looks bullish, Euro looks bearish, so I'm thinking to short this week. So you're looking to short Euro JPY, Blaze. Also, you can clearly see the market maker sell model playing out. Low risk sell, accumulation. Next entry is going to be the silver bullet. If we are going to get that entry, maybe it's just going to we are creating SMT at these lows. Okay, guys. Since there's not really any interaction anymore from the chat itself, and I've talked about what I wanted to talk about, I'm actually going to close off the stream. I would appreciate it if you were still able to leave a like. It helps the channel grow. And good luck. Do not over risk a lot. Be careful and make sure to risk low, guys, the upcoming day. And maybe it is even better to wait out overall. For now, I wish you guys a very nice rest of your day, and I will see you guys next week. Bye bye.